If I was face to face with Roger Teeter, I would cry like a baby because what he gave me was my life back. And I thank him. I thank him for that.
You can just tell me in person.
Oh, God. Thank you, sir. I didn't know you were going to be here.
I love my job, and it's because of testimonies like yours. I wrecked my back, and Inversion changed my life. This is not a gimmick. We're not just selling product. We're selling a changed lifestyle.
Yes.
So many people have written off their ability to move freely because of old age. No, it's the long-term effects of gravity combined with lifestyle, posture, and a whole lot of other things. Teeter's a way to fight back against that.
I can't thank you enough.
Well, I hope everybody's having a wonderful Monday morning. I'm your host, Lynn Murphy, and we're so thrilled because we just listened to Roger Teeter, who invented the Teeter Inversion table, and his beautiful daughter, Riley Teeter, is here joining us. And what an exciting, first off, over 21 years, we have been offering the Teeter Inversion table here at HSN. Over 2 million have been sold. And you want to talk about testimonials that truly, truly make a difference. And I always start off this presentation by saying, go to hsn.com and read those customer reviews. And we love more than anything hearing from you. So if you have through the years, myself personally, the original Inversion table that Roger Teeter brought to us about 7 years ago, I upgraded. If you are looking to temporarily remove all the aches and yuckiness when it comes to back pain and so many other things, this is definitely the most natural solution. So with that, so great to have you here, my friend.
Yeah.
And we have a special configuration. You'll find, you know, wonderful specials on the Inversion table from Teeter on infomercial, but not like we can offer here at HSN.
This is a big discount, and we only do it when we're here because, like you said, we've been coming to HSN 21 years.
Yes.
This is a special place for us in how it's allowed us to tell our story to you and allowed you to really have the opportunity to experience the products for so many years. And if you read the reviews, they're really heartwarming, life-changing stories. But because we get that opportunity to come and share this information, we give a deep discount when we're here, but only while we're here.
And this is your final day. So here's what I want to mention. Speaking of an amazing discount, normally we're looking at over a $450 value with all the extras and everything that were included. For this visit, it's $329.95. Always a customer pick. Free shipping and handling, which is huge. And by the way, we're gonna tell you all about when you get this home, how easy it is to put together. On top of that, we have 6 monthly flex payments. This is where it really makes a difference.
Right.
When you shop using any major credit card or debit card, that is $55. That'll be your first monthly payment. We're shipping this to you. You'll receive in the next couple of days. We're showing you live in the studio. This is our model, Matt, who is here. I always go back. I love your father's story. And this is the original. I think that's important to say because it's also FDA, right? Approved.
It's FDA registered. Yes, and indicated for really serious back pain conditions. It gives you the overarching back pain. In fact, we have a still so you can see it right up there in black and white. This is showing the FDA registration that we did. This is a Class 1 medical device. And take a look at this. Overarching back pain, sciatica, spinal degenerative disc disease, joint disease, spinal curvature due to tight muscles, muscle tension, herniated discs. Those are also called slip discs, bulge discs, degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, and muscle spasm. Wow. That's a huge number, right?
We can't see that enough. You really can't.
What's interesting is we've been here 21 years.
Yeah.
For 19 of those years, we just talked about just stress relief, relaxation predominantly. We didn't have the clearance from the FDA to talk about all of that.
That's so true.
And we still grew because people would try it and then sell it to their friends and family because it was making a huge difference. We finally now have the documentation, have the approvals to be able to say we're registered for the FDA and indicated for all those conditions. So it's a big deal that now it's in black and white.
That's true, because over 20 years ago, I started, you know, I've been here almost 28 years, so I remember your dad first came here, and he shared a story with us and how this all came to be and what it took. I mean, your whole family involved and all the patents and everything. And it has, I mean, to see what you're receiving here today, everything and then some. I mean, we're going to talk about the upgrades that you're receiving. This is like the latest of all the greatest of the Teeter inversion tables. And the one thing I always say right off the bat, you're thinking inversion, oh no way, I'm scared. Yeah. This even has your safety
UL
listing,
safety certified, yes, which is
huge.
It's a third-party safety assurance group that comes in and sets a standard for what an inversion table has to meet for just the basics in safety. They come to our factory, do surprise inspections 4 times a year. I've got to tell you, we're the only inversion brand that has that certification. So that's a big thing. So we've actually been in business 40 years, and that growing popularity meant a bunch of copycats, right? Oh yes, and I remember that. And they come directly over from China. There's no real business here in the United States. They put them up on those big shopping websites, but they don't have the safety. They don't have the quality. They don't have the family business backing them up. And that's a big deal, right? You need to know when you're inverting that you're safe, you're secure, that this is high quality. And how we are able to pass this really rigorous testing is we use the right steel. The other companies, they're using ordinary steel, basic steel. And we use high carbon heat treated steel so that it's built to last a lifetime.
And believe me, it will. I said I upgraded, like mine were over 15 years, but there was nothing wrong with my original one. I just wanted all the other little nooks and crannies that come along like you're getting here.
Right, here we go. This is a study I want to show you. This is the UL safety certification that we go through. That dashed line, that's the basic requirement. That's the minimum requirement they say you have to meet to have a safe product. You can see that the Teeter, which is the top line, not only met that requirement, but surpassed it. In fact, when that testing was over, my dad jumped on it and did sit-ups on that table.
God bless him.
Every other table, it broke, it tore. I mean, we're talking about metal tearing because it's ordinary steel. The product, the inversion table, cycles as you are inverting, and much like bending a wire coat hanger back and forth, it eventually fatigues and snaps. So that's why quality is so important. Now let's get back into how this is working. How is this helping you get natural relief from back pain? So it is going in, it is using your body weight. We have an animation that's gonna show you. As you rotate into inversion, you're using body weight. The same body weight that's compressive while upright to pull traction throughout the spine, and that targets back pain in 4 different ways. You stretch and relax tight muscles. Remember, the FDA said muscle spasm, a muscle tension. You are naturally realigning your spine, another thing listed as indicated by the FDA, and you are elongating the spine. We call that decompression. And when you decompress the spine, you're doing 2 things. You are taking pressure off of nerve roots, that sciatica, that pinched nerve, that radiating pain. You're relieving that pain at the source, but you're also giving the discs the opportunity that they need to hydrate with moisture, because discs don't have a blood supply. They are not getting nutrition from a blood supply. You're used to, like, you know, if you cut your skin, it bleeds, it scabs, it heals pretty quickly. But without a blood supply, when discs are injured, they don't get the food they need. They have to absorb it. They're like little sponges. And they wait for the time when the pressure's off the spine to soak up the nutrition that they need.
Isn't that why you feel good instantly that we hear every time?
That's why the difference is so dramatic. So think about this. This is just you helping your body help itself. This is what, you know, Andrew Lessman talks about.
Sure.
You take the right supplements, you do the right things, your body has an amazing ability to help itself. In fact, Andrew Lessman came on our show last time we were here.
Oh, really?
And he was like, he's been inverting for 20 years. He believes strongly in it. It is something that you do that not only deals with pain that is existing, but it is a preventative program. You are taking care of the health and the maintenance of your spine so that it's flexible, it has shock absorption, and it keeps you active as you age.
And going back, this is the original, and I know your father and your team have consulted with many, many doctors, and we have quite a few of them that we want to share some of their testimonials with you, so you're 100% confident. And as I mentioned earlier, we'd love to hear your testimonials. Please call us if you have the Teeter inversion table and share with others your terrific results. Take a listen.
So when you decompress, there is a lengthening of the spine. And by doing so, with a greater disc height, you've got more room for the nerves. There's less compression with the facet joints. And the spine is just much happier.
For the past 53 years, I've been a neurosurgeon with a major interest in chronic pain and dealing with many patients with back pain. Most patients tell me if they use their Teeter inversion table on a regular basis, they simply feel much better. No one has to do anything to you, and I think it's a very natural way to deal with the problem.
You know, there's so many amazing testimonials, and it means so much when you have accredited doctors, neurologists, I believe.
Yeah, so that last testimonial for Dr. Long, he was the head of neurosurgery at a very prominent hospital and university for 35 years. So his testimony is something that's really special, but it's not unique. I mean, as I was saying earlier, this is common sense. This is helping your body help itself, and this is not new. We talk about my dad inventing the inversion table, but the concept of using traction and even using inversion, hanging upside down, is documented as early as 400 BC with Hippocrates. So, I mean, people have known this for ages and ages and ages. They do it in different societies because when you have pain and pressure in your back, I mean, you see people leaning on counters, bending over. I can tell when I'm driving down the road if someone's in pain because you can see them bending like this.
That's so true.
That is a way of offing the weight.
Now, Matt is showing us right now. Here's live in the studio. So easy and so simple. It's like easy. 2 seconds. Yeah. It's like buckling yourself up in a car, and off you go.
So he set it to his height, and then your body mass. So he's got his center of mass at the pivot point here, 50% on one side, 50% on the other, and it works like a teeter-totter. So as Matt raises his arm, he rotates the table headward. So anytime you move weight headward, you move headward. Anytime you move weight towards your feet, you'll come back upright. So you can see that he has total control over how far back he's going, how quickly he's going back. You can preset the angle right there. So say you only want to go to 20 degrees. You can preset it. You'll never go back further than that. And Matt, if you could actually go right to here. This is about where the benefits begin. And you never have to go to full inversion. They're fully realized at about 60 degrees, which is even with the rear legs here. Come on, there we go. That's about where the benefits are fully realized. Now, we've added a bunch of upgrades on this particular unit to help enhance the benefits. One of the biggest ones is right here. This is called the traction handles. Matt's gonna reach up and show you how to do them. You just literally put your hands on them and you push. So what he's doing is he's adding manual traction. So his ankles are secure, they're not moving. And as he pushes, he's pushing his shoulders headward and increasing the decompression in the back, further opening up those joints to increase the release of pressure, to increase the rehydration of the disc. You're also getting these larger handles. These are typically sold separately. They work like training wheels on a bicycle. You can use them to walk yourself into and out of inversion. So before I showed you how he used the arm weight, you can just simply hold on and gently pull yourself up using those. Now, the biggest upgrade we have on this particular unit, and I just wanna say, if you you bought your Teeter table here 20 years ago, you could call our customer service and you can get this particular piece here.
Good.
It sells for $100 though. And I want to point out, when you bought your inversion table 21 years ago at HSN, it was $329.
That's right.
Right?
I remember that.
But it didn't come with this. So what we find a lot of people are doing is they're gifting their one that's older and calling and getting themselves all the upgrades, because you're getting so many things now, the new upgraded bed. But this really is a game changer. We originally designed this to go in medical offices because our original one had a pull pin. You had to bend all the way down to the ankles to secure yourself.
I remember, yes.
And people with back pain really struggled with that, of course. So we added this ratchet, and the internal mechanism for this is actually really quite complicated because there's all these little teeth to lock it. And then we have a secondary gravity fed lock. So it's a double lock system. And of course we added these wraparound ankle supports, increasing the comfort. They're hard on the outside for security and soft and squishy on the inside.
So all of these upgrades are included. I want to just remind everyone, if you're just tuning in, the only time we discount the Teeter inversion table is when Roger or Riley, or they're here at HSN. So with that, this is the latest and greatest with all the improvements, everything that you were just talking about, free shipping. So this is normally, it's about 54 pounds, somewhere in there.
Oh, this is 70 pounds.
70 pounds, okay, maybe $54 is normally the shipping price, right?
That sounds
right. So we're picking up the shipping, and we're offering the additional flex pay, so 6 monthly flex payments to get this home. It doesn't matter, I'm gonna jump on, you're gonna jump on, it doesn't matter what your size is. The one thing I wanna stress to everyone, and that's why I love you listening to the testimonials, and when the testimonials call in, it's for everyone of every age. If you have ever suffered from back pain, this is what is gonna temporarily help you instantly. That's the wonderful thing, and that's what people just can't believe. And naturally, no pills.
At the source, because so many things deal with symptoms. Right. We take a pill and it deals with the symptom. Your back's still screaming, you just can't hear it. That's not changing the trajectory of your wellness. That's not changing your life. When we get to the pain at the source, you've now got control over your body. You now are setting a new path. And I want to point out something that we'll hear from the doctors. We'll hear from Dr. Tantz later. It was also mentioned by Dr. Long and Dr. Fryer. But taking care of the disc. It's not just about targeting the pain that you have, but it's about taking care of the disc in their entirety. They're between every single vertebrae. You have so many of them going throughout your back. They control the space for the nerve roots to exit. They give you the shock absorption. They give you the flexibility. It's Grand Central Station in your spine, right? So it's important to take care of it to live your best life. This is a medical study that was done that looks at the pressure in your spine in different body positions. And they set a baseline in the standing body position and compared everything else to it. So the first thing they looked at is bending over. And we all know that's hard because they teach you how to lift with your legs, right? But when we sit down, we take a load off the muscles. You feel relaxed, but you dump all that pressure and weight into the discs, into the spine themselves. And here's us, if we're not in perfect seated posture, that's why back pains become epidemic. Because think about it, we drive to work, we sit at work, we relax by sitting on the couch. But here's the big deal, and this is why the Teeter works in 3 to 5 minutes. When you go to bed at night, you have the equivalent of 25% standing body pressure, and it's not your weight, it's the hundreds of muscles and ligaments that provide stabilization to the spine but hold you in background compression. The study found that you need to pull 60% of your body weight to get the pressure in the spine to 0. So remember, these discs don't have a blood supply. They are like little sponges, and that's how they get the nutrition that they need to rejuvenate. If you have pressure on them, they can't absorb. Just take a basic kitchen sponge, hold it under the running tap water with pressure on it. They're gonna get some moisture, but they're not gonna fill up completely. When you take the pressure off, you get the full hydration. That's what we're doing throughout the day, is we're hydrating the discs again and again. We're feeding them again and again. And that is really what helps you get back to wellness.
And you couldn't get a better stretch ever anywhere. I mean, honestly,
and relaxing.
Your dad, like you said years ago, that's all we really talked about was what an amazing stretch, because we could only legally say so much.
Right.
So now to be able to say what we can, because it's FDA approved, 5-year warranty comes with every single one of them. We want you to listen to more testimonials, and we'd love to hear from you. So if you have the Teeters, whether it was from 20 years ago, 5 years ago, 15 years ago, whether you bought it here or infomercial, please take a moment out and share with others, because you really could be making such a huge difference in someone's life. Take listening to Nancy.
My back started to really bother me. I don't want to go through life being less and less of myself. I want to be able to do everything and anything that I want to do. The first time that I laid on the Teeter, I got on there, locked my ankles in, laid back, and it was just a relief. I knew it was going to work for me. It's beautifully engineered. It doesn't take up very much space in your house. It's very easy to schedule it into your life. You lay down, you relax, you can meditate for a few minutes, you get off, and you're a new person. The biggest difference the Teeter table has made in my life is that I have physical freedom. I'm probably really boring, because when anyone complains to me about their back, I say, well, have you tried a Teeter table? It helped me so much, you have no idea.
I love hearing that. It helped me so much. You have no idea.
What I like that she says is I have freedom, because we've been doing this as a family business. My dad started almost 40 years ago.
After he was in a bad accident, right?
Yeah, actually, I was listening to the sock one before Tommy Copper, and I thought I got to look him up, because apparently his inspiration was a water ski accident, and so is my dad's. My dad is in the Water Ski Hall of Fame, but he wrecked his back water skiing, and now he's 80.
God bless him.
He's 81, actually, and he's water skiing again. I mean, he couldn't get out of bed with debilitating back pain. It lived like that for 5 years until he was introduced to Inversion.
And it changed his life.
Changed his life, not only because he was able to get rid of the back pain, and again, this is temporary, but it's a program, like, you know, going to the gym or, you know, anything else. Brushing your teeth, you commit to it, it commits to you and gives you back tenfold, but he's
And you
active.
want to commit to this because it feels so good.
It's relaxing. It's 3 to 5 minutes. It really is. Like, you invert, it's the last thing I do. I'm in my PJs, my face is washed, my teeth are brushed, I jump on
Kids
the
are in bed, I mean, busy mom.
You're talking about the important stuff, right? It's quiet. But I will invert for, 3 minutes max. Do a couple stretches, but that realignment, that relaxation that you get from the stretch. I mean, you know, if you've ever been to a chiropractor and they pop and you go, and you walk out
feeling,
and you gotta like then drive home, and by the time you get home you're all jacked up again. You want to roll into bed with that warm, comforting feeling, and that's what you get with this. So Lynn, it's time for you to try. How tall are you?
I am 5'2".
Okay, so what you do is you pull the pin here. I'm gonna set it 5'2". You can see it's in inches and centimeters. So here, I wanna show you this. While I have it lifted up like this, you just pull the pin. You slide your height, you look for where your height is in inches or centimeters. And look, it says 1, 2, 3. That's how simple it is. Set the height, set the angle. So you can slide this little buckle here to wherever you want it to be, longer or shorter. How far back do you want to go? Lynn, I'm gonna make you a little shorter there.
No,
and then
whatever.
lock your ankles.
Okay.
And so you just step over. Actually, Lynn, I'm gonna move the lumbar bridge because you do have mic packs, but that lumbar bridge is amazing. It is something completely unique to Teeter because what it allows you to do is square the hips. So your hips are the foundation of the spine. If you've ever been to a chiropractor, the first thing they do is look at your leg length, because if they are out of length, it's an indicator that the hips are twisted. I mean, we sit with cross-legged, we sit, you know, with a wallet in one.
You ready for me?
Yeah,
I'm ready to go. I'm listening, but like, I'm ready.
Okay, so what I would do next time, so for you guys at home, and when you get it home, I set Lynn on her height, but next time I would set her 1 inch taller because her arms are at her side, but she's already starting to rotate further than I'd like. I'd like when
you're
your
saying
arms...
maybe I'm 5'3"?
Yes, I think you are. Oh.
See that? It's working already. I'm really stretching.
Yes, so the first time, that's how you gauge it. If your feet just basically come up off, or barely come up off the crossbar, then you're at the perfect. So that's because you can see Lynn's now put her arms to her side. She's not returning back upright. What you would do if you ever found yourself in this position is just bend your knees. So scoot your butt south and see, you're always gonna be able to come back upright, because as long as you move your weight footward, you will come footward. You'll come back upright, you move your weight headward, and you will go into inversion.
Already feel better.
I know, it's amazing.
I am not kidding you.
Look at this.
Already.
We're helping to correct posture because her body is laid out flat, her spine is aligning, we're pulling traction, it's lengthening the spine, it's opening up the chest, it's pulling the shoulders back. And as that spine lengthens, you're realigning, you're allowing the discs to rehydrate with the moisture and nutrition that they need. You're relieving pressure on those nerve roots. This is why the Teeter works. Yeah. This is why it works in 3 to 5 minutes, because you get the pressure off, you stretch, you relax,
feels
and
so good.
It is literally releasing the pain.
Like instantly, and that's the beauty, because it's when you need it. It's
right
at your home,
right
when, you know, we all have different lifestyles, and, you know, obviously you were saying you do yours at night, you're a busy mom. That's the wonderful thing, you know,
yes.
You have it there when you need it.
Right.
And the other nice thing is it's compact, it's easy to put together, and we're gonna go through all of that. But if you are just tuning in, this is the original. This is the original with all the most amazing advances that you have been making through the years. There's a reason why over 2 million have been spoken for, over 2.5 million have been spoken here for at HSN. I think that I messed up my microphone when I was inverting.
Oh, is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm gonna have to readjust. Sorry about that.
So let's talk about, I mean, you talk about the original, yes, that's critical. Being the first is something, but being the only one that's FDA registered, being the only one that's UL safety certified, that's critical, because what we're looking for when we buy an inversion table is results. You're looking for the relief. And a lot of these products, they can't say this, they put foam on their beds, your body sinks into the foam, you don't get the decompression, you don't get the results. We get results, and are registered by the FDA, indicated for conditions like back pain, right? That's just a big overarching statement, right? But also the details of back pain, like sciatica, that's a pinched nerve. Sciatica specifically is a pinched nerve in the lower back, but this is targeting all pinched nerves, whether it's in your neck, anywhere else that you have that radiating, burning, numb pain. Spinal degenerative joint disease, that's the same as osteoarthritis. Spinal curvature due to tight muscles, muscle tension, herniated discs. That's the same as a bulge disc or a slip disc. You're also getting degenerative disc disease. That is, I mean, a lot of times you're getting, you have one or more of these. Oh, right? You
absolutely.
have muscle spasm and a herniated disc and degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, and muscle spasm. Look at that. We're talking about treating muscle pain, disc issues, nerve pain, so many different ways that it's helping.
Okay, these are all, tell me about these, because this went right into the nook of a pulled muscle that I have, and let me tell you, it felt like I was getting like a shiatsu massage.
That's exactly the goal.
It really did.
We have a really unique bed design. This is called our FlexTech bed. And what it has is all these different tracks and places to put accessories. So you get 8 acupressure nodes. You line them up with anywhere, if you heard the term trigger point.
Yes.
So it's a
But it goes right in there.
Yeah, it's a spot in your muscle that is bound up. And a lot of times, a bound up muscle like that can cause problems all across your back, into your neck, into your head, can cause headaches. So we want to release a trigger point. So you line this up with that sensitive area. I will say what happens is you go, ow, 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 ah. Yeah. It's like somebody pushing really hard.
I hear Matt over there laughing. You've been inversion, how long have you been using the inversion?
I've been inverting for 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, I was looking at the list and I thought, oh, you know, 15 15 years ago, when I was a carpenter doing construction, I had 2/3 of those things. And I've been inverting for 15 years, and I have none of those things.
Isn't that...
Just because, like a maintenance program, like brushing your teeth, I wouldn't go to a teeth brushist and have him brush my teeth once a month for $120. I do it every day, and I invert every day. And so I used to invert because I'd hurt my back at work or something, and I just need to release the pressure between the vertebrae. The bones of my spine needed to be opened up so my discs could rehydrate, protect those nerves, because pinching a nerve, you know, I'd get pain down my arm, my leg. It was very uncomfortable because of the physical labor I was doing. But now, because I've done that on a daily basis, I do it all the time. I do it every morning for exercise purposes.
For how long? Because I know Riley said 3 minutes. That's the beauty, right? It's, This is like not a huge commitment. It's,
sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Well,
long?
I do it
5 minutes?
I do it for 3 minutes, and after those 3 minutes, I do upside down sit-ups. Because one upside down sit-up is worth 10 on the ground, and I'm ultimately quite a lazy person, so that sounds quicker.
Yes.
But I can do that because I'm elongated. I can't pinch a nerve because my spine is opened up with the muscles and ligaments stretched.
Great point.
So my discs are rehydrating the whole time. They're rehydrating as much as if I'd laid down in bed, more so than laying down in bed all night. Because laying down in bed, you're still, you know, those muscles and ligaments are still holding your spine together. So your discs are still being squeezed a little bit.
Right.
And when you're 60% like this angle, 60% of upside down, then you've got enough body weight to pull those muscles and ligaments loose enough to take the pressure off those discs completely, and they rehydrate in minutes. Instead of like 8 hours.
And
it's
listen,
amazing.
you could be doing a speech upside down right now. I love it. It's so engaging, and it's like
it does ruin roller coaster rides for you because you're as comfortable upside down. You're like whoop-de-doo.
And you know what? Most importantly, you said 15 years, and continue in 15 years to invert, and it'll be part of your life forever.
Absolutely.
When you're pain free, are you kidding?
I'm pain free, and I used to walk up and down the stairs holding the handrail, you know, not being able to carry things with me because it was dangerous. I didn't want to pinch my nerve. Now I jog up and down the stairs. It's just a night and day. My brother uses it. He works in an office chair all day. He uses it for that reason. That's worse than being a carpenter. My dad uses one. My mum uses one. My grandmother, who's 94, uses one. Only Teeter, because they're the only ones who pass the safety test.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't hang upside down or have my loved ones hang upside down on any other one because of the torn metal, the broken metal. It's ridiculously unsafe. But this is, I go upside down. I used to be 233 pounds at my heaviest, and I do upside down sit-ups aggressively, angrily, because I felt like, oh, I need to lose a little bit of weight. So I would really shake the machine around, and it does not move one iota. I can't make it make a noise.
Even if you tried, right?
You know, I tried to do something.
Well, you
to
look
it.
great. I love that story. Thank you for sharing. And your whole family, and that's what ends up happening. It's word of mouth.
Absolutely.
I know we have more testimonials, but you're holding some of the other bonuses that come along with this.
So this is the lumbar bridge, and this is also something completely unique to Teeter. And what you do is you find the spot that aligns with your back arch, and preferably a bit lower down so that you're really seated your hips at the base. So this is like lined up with the top of your hips, and then it will help square those hips, which are the foundation of the spine. And what happens is your pelvis is so easily put out of alignment from wearing high heels or sitting with your legs crossed, or a lot of times we put like a phone or wallet in our back pocket that lifts that butt cheek up when you're seated and twist those hips. And when they get twisted, what happens is, of course, your whole spine doesn't lean off to the side like this now. It curves and compensates because your head wants to be square on top, so you get this curvature. So when we square the hips, we really help promote proper alignment throughout the rest of the spine.
And this is all included, by the way.
This is all included.
Everything, the padding at the top, I mean, all the little acupuncture. I think there's like 10 or 12 of them.
There's 8 of them,
Okay, 8. And you put those wherever you want throughout, you know, the unique, I love. Mine has my original was the nylon.
Right, the nylon bed, oh my gosh, that is 20 years ago.
I'm not kidding, honestly.
This is the big upgrade too. This bed, I gotta say, this is, you guys at home, We read all the reviews. Our last version had this style surface bed because this is the best way to get decompression. You want a firm surface so that you can get the body slide that really is the secret of why this works. If your body isn't able to move down the bed, it means you are not getting that decompressive stretch that is releasing the tension and releasing the pain. But you guys said, you know what, it's a little uncomfortable because we are bolting this bed to a metal frame and it didn't move, it didn't squish. And we said, okay, well, great. How are we gonna deal with that? Because we're not putting the foam on because we're looking for benefits. And so we lifted the bed off the frame, and there's actually little ball bearings in here, and it's a floating suspension system. So I want you to look here. As I push on the bed, it flexes, it moves, and it gives you that squish, that softness, and flexibility that makes it more comfortable without compromising your ability to get all the benefits.
And just real quickly, up to how many pounds again? I don't know if I mentioned that earlier.
Yes, that's a great question. It goes from 4'8" to 6'6". It has a 300-pound user weight capacity, but that is with a 400% safety factor because that UL safety certification requires that our inversion table hold 1,200 pounds.
Wow, wow.
So as Matt was talking to earlier, he says, I'm 230 pounds, or was, and doing sit-ups, and how he's like, don't say that again. I was.
He did all those sit-ups.
Yeah.
Remember, one inverted, it's like 10 on the ground.
Making noises over there. But when you're doing sit-ups, there's weight bouncing. You wanna make sure that your product is secure and stable. Yeah,
that's full inversion.
Yes, and you don't ever have to go there, but look at how the table walks away from his body, so he's completely hanging free. And it's a real opportunity to, are you showing the sturdiness of it? I'm like, what are you doing, wiggling?
Yes.
But you know, you're safe, you're secure, you have the freedom of movement. You never have to go to this degree of inversion to get absolutely all the benefits. That's the angle where he's at right now, is really the magic angle to get the pressure to at or near zero. But we've also included the traction handle. So if you want to go to even a lesser angle, you can reach up and add manual traction to further increase the stretch in the spine. So, I mean, these are all the little features that we've added. Really,
they're humongous.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Enhance the benefits. But I do want to point something out to you, because yesterday we got 7 testimonial calls. And I was listening to these ladies. They were all actually happened to be women, but 74 years old, 84 years old. And they were saying, yeah, I go to full inversion. I go all the way upside down. But I started out and I was scared. I was nervous. You know, the first time you jump on this, I'm not gonna lie to you. You are going backwards, and it is a little nerve-wracking. Is it gonna hold me? Am I okay? But it is amazing how quickly, I mean, within 2 to 3 sessions,
you're hooked.
You're hooked. You've got the confidence, and you know it's got you, and you thought, oh, I could never do that. I mean, this lady, she's like 84, I think her name was Darlene. There was Darlene and Cindy who both really stood out as huge stories, because they were going to the chiropractor weekly, monthly, and now all of a sudden, they're not having to go, and everybody's gonna have different results, but they're not having to go. They're saving that money, they're saving that time, but more importantly, they have a control.
And they're getting results.
Yeah, and they're getting results. They are in control of the health of their spine. I loved what Matt said. You're not gonna go to the dentist to just brush your teeth and do it once every 6 months or once a month. You're gonna wanna do this every day to maintain the health of your spine.
You want to jump on?
Yeah,
and then I'm
sure.
going to jump in
So
again,
I'm
just to
show
show,
you.
I want everybody just to do it with confidence, knowing that you have the FDA clearance on here. And if you are just tuning in, after tomorrow, this is going to be available if we still have quantity, but not at a special price. The only time we do a special is when our wonderful, you know, our Teeter girls, or Roger is here, or you're here, his beautiful daughter. Today, we're including all the highest advances and all the upgrades that that we've been selling as upsells, to be honest with you.
Right,
For
that's
years.
right.
You get
That's right.
everything at $329.95. Normally over $40 to ship this, free shipping this visit, and then you can break up your payments.
Right.
Get it home, try it. It's the only way you're gonna know.
So what I did, you guys saw me adjust the height, and that puts half my body weight on one side of the pivot point, half my body weight on the other. So that's your main adjustment between family members, is the height selector. And then you just raise your arms to rotate the table. I took the preset rotation control off because I wanted to be able to show the different angles, but you can preset it. If you wanna stop right here, it'll stop you wherever you pick to stop, and you won't go back any further. But you have complete control. This is not a scary device. This isn't going to move too quickly. You're not gonna get stuck. You wanna come back upright, arms go to the side. If for some reason you misset it and you don't go back upright with your arms all the way at the side, just bend your knees ever so slightly and see how it just, that weight movement towards the feet go down. So you're in complete control. We've also upgraded it with these handles. These are like the training wheels. So if you don't want to use the weight of your arms, you're too nervous to lift them over your head the first couple times, just hold on. And these actually, while they're great training wheels as you're starting out, they're also awesome stretch and grip handholds. You can reach over and grab it and do these stretches that are gonna further loosen muscles, and that's called mobilization. In fact, that's a term coined by the US military. They did a 6-year evaluation. They will only use Teeter products. They actually use our gravity boots, but they had troops inverting after basic training, and they had them do stretches, right? So rotational stretches, you saw Matt do some of them. These all come on the DVD that comes with your inversion table, or if you don't have a DVD player, you can stream them off of our website, or we have a free app you can download that has all those videos, plus calendars and ways to track your usage, your pain, and really learn all about what we're doing here. But they stretched, and that lengthened the muscles, it encouraged the realignment, and they found that the troops that inverted were less likely to get compression fatigue injuries. And what that just means is, you know, if you've ever made the bed or done an activity, lifted up groceries, and you feel your back get thrown out, and you know the trajectory of the next week, right? You're going to have the muscles seize up, because the muscles go, what's this vertebrae doing over here? He's not supposed to be here. I'm gonna splint it so it doesn't continue to move out of alignment, right? So this, getting it back in alignment before all those muscles react, is critical. If you have your Teeter in your house, you throw it your back out doing something, whatever it is, living your life. You jump on, stretch it out, pop it back in, and you go back on living your life, right?
It's that easy.
Versus,
it really,
I better make a call. Oh, you can get me in next week.
Right.
Great. Wait the time, live with it until you can go and spend your copay to get it.
You're right, Riley. And just as Matt was saying too, once you start doing it and you see the difference and you're not feeling that pain every day, why wouldn't you commit to 3 minutes a day, right? To be able to maintain and strengthen that particular weakened part, wherever that may be, whether that was, you know, you were saying the pain shooting down your leg or in your arm or in your spine, in your lower back, your upper back, but you don't know until you try it. So again, going back, for those who are just tuning in, we're gonna listen to more testimonials. Over 2.5 million sold. Absolutely, with all the upgrades, the best value you can find on our Teeter table is Inversion table is here today. Up until midnight. And then the free shipping and easy to put together. We didn't talk about that either. And I'm gonna jump on one more time if you don't mind while we're doing that.
Let me change it.
So we're gonna go, I'm 5'3" now.
Yeah, here we go.
Yay.
So I'm gonna set the height, set the maximum angle of inversion, and then you simply step in and lock in.
Okay.
So 85% assembled. So the ankle system that Lynn is stepping into does not come in a million parts. No, it used to have to be assembled, but you know what? You HSN customers said, we don't want to do that. So guess what? 100% assembled now.
Love it.
The bed's assembled, the A-frame's assembled. You're going to click together these large parts. These traction handles are really how you click it together. And then you do have some assembly because these handles were so big that it made the box too big. So you've got to put the handles on. There's 3 machine screws and there's 1 bolt. These directions are in written form. They're in DVD form. They're in app form. But it's so easy. It is so easy. It'll take you more time to get it out of the packaging. So, okay, if you guys have been watching, if you guys were watching earlier and you saw that Lynn was at 5'2" and she went back, she could get back upright, but she had to bend her knees. Now we set her at 1 inch, and now she has that precision control that gives her, you know, just the weight of the arms to go. See how much?
I've always been doing it on 5'2", but I'm so used to bending my knees because that's what I always set it at.
Yeah. There you go.
See what stretching has done? We're going to take a listen to more great testimonials. Here's Jim Johnson. It's true.
Pain was part of my life, and not doing the things I love became part of my life. My daughter stopped asking me to do anything anymore with her because it's always my back. The Teeter comes along, and it's like the light bulb goes off in my brain. I felt my body completely stretch out. Life is great again because I can live it, because I can participate in it. Now that the Teeter's here, Jim is back. Jim is back, and they cannot stop me.
I feel so good right now.
Right?
How am I going to go on working the rest of the day? I'm just kidding, but it energizes you. And I know you touched on posture too, and I
think that's a huge
thought
thing.
That was absolutely.
I think it's a huge thing because it's degenerative, right? We start with our shoulders being forward from sitting at the desk, but you know what happens? The muscles in the chest shorten in response, and the muscles in the back lengthen in response, and pretty soon it's not just a posture at your desk, it's a posture as you're walking through. It's just adapted into your body. And then you say, well, go stand up straight. Go stand up against a wall and stand up straight. And you go, well, that feels really weird. It's hard to do. But there's all sorts of things that happen when you're in bad posture. Your body is best resisting gravity when there's an alignment of bones. When you take your body, and you've seen this probably in diagrams, they're always showing you if your head's forward because tech neck's becoming such a problem. But if you're forward in bad posture like this and gravity's pushing down, you have, you know, basically that permanent stoop and slouching that happens. But when you're in alignment, your body can best resist gravity, and that means you're going to best resist back pain. So let's take a look at the aging spine. Now you can see that this person is losing that posture, right? But they're also losing height, because if you've talked to grandma or grandpa, or maybe you've seen it in your own body, because it does start happening pretty early. You lose about 2 inches of height throughout your lifetime, and that height is in the soft tissue of the disc. And that means a loss of mobility. Those vertebrae, when they move closer together, means you can't flex as far as you used to. Now, earlier we were talking about my dad who started this company, Roger. He's 81 years old.
Amazing.
He had debilitating back pain in his 40s, and now I'll teach you a trick on how to get out of that
I wasn't
later.
paying attention. I was looking at the screen. I'm thinking, what am I doing?
You know, he's in debilitating back pain. And yes, this deals with the back pain. It helps you get that temporary relief, but it also gets the flexibility, the mobility, the movement back, so that my dad in his 80s is still water skiing, still snow skiing, still going on long dog walks. They got a crazy Irish setter that has to like go for miles. And I laugh at that because I went and got a dog that's basically the same way, and now I know the same torture. But you know, keeping up with my kids. I got 2 boys who want to play with Grandpa above all else, and they make him run around the house.
And your dad is, you know that.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, leave Grandpa alone. And he's like, I love it. So, I mean, that's the stuff that you want to be able to be partaking in, and that is part of taking care of your spine.
And such a huge testimonial that for 40 years here at HSN, over 20 years.
Yes.
Think about that for a minute. And going back, FDA FDA, let's talk about that backing, which is so huge. And
right.
what we can say now with all the testing that has been done that we couldn't even say 15, 20 years ago,
I mean, the
Riley.
fact that our company was able to grow just on the word of mouth, I mean, go read the reviews. You'll see that the stories are incredible. But we really, when we were on air for the first 19 years of being on HSN, said, oh, it'll relieve your stress. It'll make you feel better. We could talk a little bit about
stretching.
Posture. It's a stretch.
Yeah.
And then just 2 years ago, we got all the clearances from the FDA to really talk about the back pain conditions that this is indicated for. And you can see they're huge. This is why the stories are so dramatic. This is why they're so life-changing. Because if you have any of these conditions, you have sciatica or spinal degenerative joint disease, you have muscle or spinal curvature, misalignments in the spine is what that is, muscle tension, herniated disc, slip disc, bulge disc, any of those, you don't have a lot of options, right? They're dealing with symptoms. Your back's still screaming, you just can't hear it. Or you've got to make appointments. There's big chunks out of your life. Here's the second page coming in. The degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, muscle spasm. You know, this is something where you are able to help your body help itself. This isn't something gimmicky or crazy. Like I was saying earlier, this has been around since 400 BC and not as a comfortable or accessible format. This has obviously been highly engineered since then. But it's a concept that's well known as a way to naturally relieve back pain. Target it at the source. Bring real relief. If you can realign that spine, you can open up those joints, you can get relief. It's as simple as that, and it takes 3 to 5 minutes. And I gotta tell you, here's the thing. I don't have back pain. I do have a tendency towards bad posture because I sit at a desk 8 hours a day and I have a lot of stress and tension. I use this for 3 minutes at the end of the day. It relaxes me, I feel great. I feel everything move into alignment. But if you have one of those major conditions that the FDA has indicated us for, you have sciatica, you've had sciatica pain for ages, you have herniated disc, slip disc, bulge disc, spinal degenerative joint disease, any of those items, what I'm gonna recommend for you is you do it a couple times a day, right? Just 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, stretch, open it up, because what we're doing is we're giving the disc the opportunity to help themselves. And I was actually talking to a doctor about this, and they gave me a great analogy. They were talking about houseplants, right? So think about this degenerative disc disease as a houseplant that you haven't watered for ages. The water is brittle, or the soil is brittle, it is, you know, it's dried out. And you go and you pour water into it, and it just flows right through. The plant doesn't immediately rebound, does it? The soil doesn't rebound. It takes time. It needs consistency of care. And then you will start to see it evolve into a better state. That's what we're doing here. You need to keep giving the body the care it needs, and you will then see a difference.
Like a well-oiled machine.
Yes,
and you're
that's
doing
a good,
it yourself.
Yeah.
You're doing it naturally. And we always love mentioning some other specials that are available for you.
Oh, wonderful.
And then we want to listen to Dr. Tantz one more time,
Yes, you know what? I get so into what I'm telling you guys that the last couple times
and we forget there's only 5 minutes left.
Yeah, okay, so here is the Better Back program, Matt. You can see there's 24 different stretches and exercises that you can do. Remember the program that I was saying the U.S. military put together after a 6-year evaluation of Teeter products? This was the stretches and exercises that they came up with.
We used to have a video and testimonials years ago where they would all talk.
Show the military.
Yes.
And so these are the stretches and exercises. They're also on the DVD that you get that comes with the table, but I love that these are just pictures and you can see them at a glance. Perfect. And it reminds you. It also is a great way if you have hardwood floors or tile floors to just separate the product from it. There's the vibration cushion.
Nice.
This has 10 different motors. Here your head actually goes over the top of the pillow here. This helps restore proper neck curvature. This is, if you have the muscle spasm, muscle tension, any of those things, this is a great way to kind of get a massage while you're inverted.
Beautiful.
Isn't that awesome?
I love it, yeah.
There's the little caddy here, which is trying to pop off. There's a little caddy here, so one thing that happens when you invert is the things in your pockets are no longer in your pockets.
Right.
So this is a great spot to put that chapstick or change or reading glasses that you have on the side while you're jumping in. And then these are, you get a 2-pack actually. This is our muscle rub. So this is very similar to other muscle rubs that have that tingly, wonderful feeling that helps you when you have pain, but this does not have any of the yucky things in it. So no parabens, none of that junk that you don't want in, no animal testing, no sulfates.
Great.
But it does also have emu oil, which helps it penetrate into the skin. And then we deliver arnica, which is a great for bruising and soreness, MSM, and glucosamine to the joint that we're delivering through here. So this is awesome. This is something where we have a hard time keeping them in the office because everybody likes to take them home.
Well, same thing here at hsn.com. We can't keep them in stock because every time we put them up online, they're gone. So we wanted to give you information for all the other little specials that we have. Can we take a real quick listen one more time? Because we said there's so much research and science and doctors who have backed this product up through the years, and most importantly, FDA approved, and that's you know, so important. But take a listen to some more of the doctors.
The discs that sit here are like shock absorbers we have on the car. So when you get up in the morning, you may be 6'1". When you go to bed at night, you're actually about 6'1½". You lose 1/4 to 1/2 inch of height as these shock absorbers get squeezed and the water comes out of them. Then when you're asleep, they rehydrate. One of the advantages, I think, of Roger's device is that you can do this during the day, too, and give yourself kind of a break from the constant pressure on your back and on these shock absorbers to allow them to rehydrate by taking all the pressure off and letting them have some freedom. People that get on a standard routine and do it again and again do far better than people that go for 3 weeks of therapy and then re-injure again in a year, go for 3 weeks therapy. A daily routine, which is what Roger's recommending, I think is a very good way of getting your back in great shape so that as we stay vertical for our lives, we don't start breaking down later on.
All positive, everything that we hear.
That's an orthopedic surgeon, by the way, at a Trauma One Center in San Diego.
Amazing.
So, and we don't pay the doctors. These are people that have come to us with their stories. Actually, unfortunately, he came to us in the fact that my dad had a terrible car accident, was airlifted from Mexico to his hospital and stayed there for quite some time. But of course, my dad became friends with him, and he was like, "You're Roger Teeter."
Who doesn't know Roger?
So he bought his inversion table from my dad, and he also bought one for his son, who's a spinal surgeon. And it's just, you know, I mean, it's common sense. You decompress the spine, you take the pressure off, and you're gonna have great benefits.
And you're gonna feel like $1 million. Okay, here's what I wanna stress one more time. Only time we offer a special, and this is the latest and greatest. We were just talking about that. Riley was saying, I can't believe this is like all the upgrades that we normally do. A lot of them are upsells that you normally have to actually pay more for that are included in here, including the 8 little acupunctures, which one is right on my muscle. Whoa, does that feel good? All the upgrades are included. But after midnight tonight, yes, we'll have this if available, but it'll be over $400. So it's a great opportunity. It's only when Roger or Riley are here that we do offer a special. That's what we're doing here today. On top of that, the free shipping. On top of that, the 6 monthly flex payments. So you can get it home for, what, under $55 or somewhere in there and see for yourself. Yeah. I feel so good. I could do the rest of the shows upside down today.
It's releasing, it's refreshing. You know, Andrew Lessman's been doing it for 20 years. Colleen, this is normally her host pick. Because what's interesting is she said it's like a facial from the inside out.
It is. And I remember my dance teacher when I was like 3 years old would say, if you want to be the most beautiful you can be, go ahead, stand on your head every day for at least a minute.
Yeah.
Because of
That's why
that whole
yoga,
thing.
and there's a lot of
You're
other benefits.
wonderful.
Thank you,
Our best to
Lynn.
Roger
Yes,
as well. And
thank
we'll
you.
be back with Lancôme Beauty. Stay tuned.
Okay, so I'm not gonna be shy about it. I like to eat. I'm a real foodie. And I'm telling you, we've got some tasty foods, and they've all been curated just for you. Grab a seat and join us. Good eating with me today at 5 p.m.
Lancôme Paris on HSN.
What really separates a home? A home should provide comfort, coziness, and convenience. Join me on Monday nights where I'll be giving you great ideas for your home, your kitchen, and your life.
Innovation, artistry, and master craftsmanship. Inspired by the world-class bladesmiths of history's hit series, Forged in Fire. It's cookware and cutlery reimagined, engineered to last, and designed for all your culinary masterpieces. Your kitchen will never be the same. Watch the HSN premiere of the new Forged in Fire Cookware and Cutlery collection tonight, only on HSN.